Welcome, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Pod on the Apex. Are you ready for Miami?
Miami, baby! Let's go!
Miami. Yeah, let's go. So, race 6 of the calendar. We have our first race in North America of the season, the Miami Grand Prix. It's a street circuit around the Hard Rock Stadium parking lot and the stadium itself. And yeah, race 6, Aniket. The season is what, 20% through.
Yeah.
What are your early thoughts about this season?
Early thoughts were that there are far less teams in the championship fight than expected. We expected like a 3 or 4 team battle with cars very close at the front.
Yeah.
But obviously, we are seeing that one team is running away with the championship at this point, while the other teams are on the back foot pretty much. So, very
Yep.
surprised with that. And very surprised also with the fact that Oscar Piastri is doing so well. We did have high expectations for him,
Mm.
but he's been a class of the field at this point over the first 5 or 6 races which we've had. Overshadowed his teammate in probably 70% of the races, and that's a surprise as well. Another surprise is, obviously Ferrari being so disappointing in this early part of the season.
Is that
Again, high hopes
surprising
from
though?
them. I know as a Ferrari fan, you've endured a lot of disappointment, but after a long time, we did have some expectations for them, knowing what they were going in with this season.
Yeah.
But again, yet again, they've started out very poorly. And at this point, apart from that one sprint win in China, the team is very much on the back foot, probably the fourth fastest team in F1 right now. So, a lot of work for them also to do. Yeah, I think the other things are all up for debate in terms of the other teams doing well, who's doing better than the other. But we
Mm.
probably monitor that over the course of the season, and maybe once we hit the halfway mark, we'll probably rate every team, every driver, based on how they performed up till then. But so far, these are the takeaways which I've had, and I believe that it's pretty fair to say all of this.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. Like I think we did expect McLaren to be strong, but honestly,
Yeah.
I didn't see them being this dominant. Especially considering all the noises other teams made to the winter break. I'm looking at you, Ferrari, uh, and even Mercedes for that matter. There was a lot of chatter about from both the Ferrari and Mercedes camps that the car is going to be much improved. They're going to be setting new records or whatever. I mean, Red Bull, yes. We know even with the average car, Max Verstappen will do something, as he has already shown. The only non-McLaren driver to win a race this season so far. But yeah, I think Ferrari and even Mercedes to an extent, I think it has been a bit of a disappointing start. Of course, we do see George Russell and Kimi having very consistent finishes week in and week out, but that consistency is like P4 or P5 and not P1. Yeah, I'm really surprised with the extent of McLaren's dominance so far, and not just McLaren but even Oscar Piastri. I mean, we will talk more about Oscar and McLaren later in this show today for all of you. But just to quickly touch upon Oscar Piastri, he has won 3 out of 5 races. So 60% of the races so far have been won by Oscar Piastri.
Yeah.
And this guy is like basically a rookie. I mean, third season compared to Lando, who's like a veteran at this point.
Hmm.
Oscar is showing him like I know. Last year we used to troll that hey, Oscar will be better than Lando. I mean,
Hmm.
you could say it was
And
partly trolling with
he
with
did
Lando
show a lot
being the
of
more
his
senior driver, right?
he did show a lot of his prowess last season, right?
Yes, he
So
did.
many races
He
he
did.
was,
He did.
kind of at Lando's level or even better.
No, I agree. I agree. But I think we did see, in second half of the season especially, Lando was just more consistent last year compared to Oscar, right? Even before the Papaya preferences that
Yeah.
came about. Lando was in general a little more consistent than Oscar. We did see Oscar have off weekends and all of that, but Lando would always be around the top 3, top 4.
Yeah.
And more often than not, he would lose positions because of his fight with Max rather than him being a poor driver. But this season, Oscar has really stepped up to the plate, and I was not expecting him to be you know leading the standings going to Miami. But yeah, I think after this race, there's again a 2 week gap before Ebola, and it's traditionally where teams bring in their first upgrades, first
Yeah,
major upgrades for the season. So I think that will also be an interesting benchmark to see the how the chasing class is catching up and whether McLaren just extends their lead, right?
yeah.
They become Red Bull of 2023 and run away into the distance with the first upgrade. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I think so far, not the drama that we expected, right? It's been mostly McLaren's race to lose.
Yep.
Somehow Max Verstappen stole one.
Somehow.
Somehow. Yeah, that just shows Verstappen's talent and attitude, I think. Um, and Red Bull is not even the second best car, right? But yet Max Verstappen does Max Verstappen things. On that note, Aniket, shall we kick off our Miami Grand Prix predictions?
Yes, let's do it. We're excited for this and excited to predict McLaren again, which is a little boring. But let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get to it. Let's start with okay, before I say qualifying, this is again a sprint weekend, right? Just to confirm, yeah, it's a
It
sprint
is.
weekend,
Yes.
so we can have a little longer predictions segment. Let's start with sprint qualifying. Who's your pole position for sprint qualifying?
I mean, I'm gonna pick one of the McLaren boys. Maybe I'm gonna pick Oscar for sprint because Oscar's always something with Oscar in sprint weekends. He's very good in these sprint races,
Yeah, yeah. I think his
and
first victories
also
are also in sprints.
yes, and I think he's got a different motivation when it comes to sprint for some reason. So I will pick Oscar P1
Mm.
and Lando P2. Uh, maybe George Russell P3.
Mm. So you're going for a 1-2 McLaren and Georgie
Three
Boy
must
running off the top
Georgie
three.
boy. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
with with that
Mm.
new race kit which Mercedes are showcasing. We
Yes,
talk about
yes.
this in a later segment, but yeah, probably that new race kit is going to drive him up to P3.
The new uniform is going to add some speed.
Yep, Mercedes wish they did that.
Yep, yep. All right. So, yeah, I think I'm inclined to agree with you. I think Oscar will get P1 for sprint qualifying. I'm going to put and yeah, I think Russell has also been doing well in sprints as well. So I think I'll put Russell in
Yeah.
P2.
The Mercedes in general has been a better car than we expected this
Yeah.
season. So it's fair to say that George Russell could have a great qualifying this weekend as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm actually going to put Russell in P2.
Hmm.
I think yeah, Russell has been excellent in quali, I think, this year. I think he's getting more out of the car, and as Mercedes becomes stronger every weekend, I think Russell can get P2, but I think Oscar will have too much,
Yeah.
and Oscar will pip him for pole. P3, I mean, yeah, it's probably going to be Lando, isn't it? I mean, yeah,
McLaren,
I honestly don't
that
see
car
anybody
has to
else.
finish P1, P2 every race, otherwise it's a failure.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, even 2023, man, even Sergio Perez was getting results before they made the car too front heavy and destroyed
Yes.
his driving style. So, yeah. Yeah, I honestly don't see anybody else coming close.
Ferrari
Uh,
with their new livery also, and
nah,
at least in
they'll probably
qualifying.
get slower with that. What about the sprint race?
Sprint race, I think Oscar wins the sprint because he's very good at sprints, as I mentioned. And Lando, I hope he's learned from his mistakes, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll put him in P2,
Okay.
and I'll say Verstappen gets P3. He pips George in the race.
Oh, Max Verstappen in P3. Hmm.
Yep.
Okay, okay, I see you.
Our championship contenders all finishing P1, P2, P3
Yeah.
in the sprint race.
Hmm. Okay, I'm. Yeah, I think I agree with you in Oscar Piastri winning the sprint, but I'm going to go a little contrarian here. We need to spice up the power. I mean, if you just keep going McLaren 1 2 for every session, there's nothing left. I'm going to go Charles Leclerc P2. Go
You
for
just,
it.
you just, you just said the Ferrari new livery is not going to do anything.
Yeah, but they didn't expect Charles Leclerc driving the car, did
Are
they?
they going to revert back to the old livery? And that's the reason why they're going to be faster.
No, I think Charles has he just does well at Miami. Even last
Mm-hmm.
year he got P2 I think in the sprint. So
Mm-hmm.
he split the Red Bulls, which was at that point still the dominant car. So
Mm.
yeah, I think Charles will go P2, and I think we see Max Verstappen P3.
Mm-hmm.
Lando, my boy, I'm sorry. I know, uh, I know you have the talent, and I think you will come good this season. And I know we have had comments on our previous videos saying they want Lando to win, but Lando has had characteristically poor starts
Yep.
whenever the situation needs actually to get a good start out of him. So I think he'll be pipped into the first corner by a couple or three cars. So yeah, especially the sprint. Yeah, I'm going to go for Charles P2 and Max P3. With Yeah, I don't see Oscar being dethroned, man. That guy is just way too calm under pressure for anything to
I
happen.
told you in the last part, like he's like the new Iceman.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
reminds me of Kimi so much.
yeah, totally.
Nothing phases him. He does his own job. He doesn't bother about anybody else. He
Yeah,
gets things done, and he can win a race and be seen on TV in picture in picture. Still doesn't matter.
oh yeah. Oh my god.
Hopefully that
F1
doesn't happen
F1 didn't
again.
so dirty with that man. So dirty.
The first driver to win on picture in picture. You need to go
Yeah.
and check if there's anyone who's actually won with them being shown in a small part of the screen previously.
I know, right? Yeah, that was something else though. Um, but yeah, I think that's done with the sprint. Now coming to quali and race, the main quali and race.
Hmm.
Are you going to stick with Oscar for pole again or somebody else?
I'll say Lando gets pole in the race. The roles are reversed. Lando for P1, Oscar P2.
Hmm.
And since you brought up Ferrari doing well in the race, I think let's give Ferrari fans hope.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say Lewis because Lewis has to show it first. He's not been
Hmm.
doing anything relevant to be said in the last few races. So
Yeah.
it's going to be Charles P3.
Okay. 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 So I'm going to mix it up here a little because, like I said, going with the McLaren boys on pole every time gets
Mm-hmm.
boring, and then nobody will
Mm.
see us anymore. Uh, I think
You're going to go away from McLaren for pole?
yes. I think Charles will be on a high
Mm-hmm.
from getting P2 in the race, and he's going to go for pole in qualifying.
He's going to go for pole, he's going to take pole.
Okay, he's
Everyone is going to go for
everyone's
pole,
going for pole.
right?
He's going to get pole position in qualifying. Let's go, Charles. Let's go.
Okay, that's bold.
Yeah,
Ferrari have shown nothing in the last few races and we're putting them on pole.
it's
If
just the
that happens,
Ferrari hopium, copium, all the yums. But yeah, I think Charles will go P1. I think Lando will go P2. He will have a point to prove after both showing the sprint. I think Lando is going to be very angry, and he's going to get P2 in qualifying. And I think Oscar will get P3.
mm-hmm.
I think he makes a slight mistake
Okay.
and loses a couple of tenths and finishes P3.
So he shows that he is human after all.
Yeah, I mean, you remember Suzuka, he lost pole with a mistake, right?
Oh
So
yeah, he did.
yeah,
Correct.
so I think the same thing would happen. And this time Lando is going to be fast. Lando is like, haha, Oscar, I got you. And but Charles is like, ha, I got you both. And we're going to see a Leclerc pole. Ferrari is going to be in a high going into Sunday. Everybody expects a Ferrari win, and we're going to see Oscar go P1 for the race.
So, should we do the race predictions?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ferrari will be in a high going into the Sunday race. Everybody will be expecting Charles to win the race, and we're just going to end up with a boring Oscar Piastri victory again.
So we don't need to do the predictions, right? I think we're good. I think Oscar is winning the race, and
Yeah,
but we do hope that at least one of these teams can make it exciting and not let the
yeah,
McLarens
yeah,
get away. That's important.
yeah. Man, I really hope some team, I don't care which team at this point, I just hope some team has unlocked something for this weekend, whether that's Ferrari or Mercedes or even Williams, right?
Yeah, I think Williams, as we saw, they're getting better and better. So,
Hmm.
and also in terms of the other teams, I think Racing Bulls, they're going to be there or thereabouts fighting for the
Yeah,
points. I think when we can probably get to the rookie of the race
yeah,
now in
yeah,
terms
yeah.
of
Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
yeah.
Who's your rookie of the race?
Okay, so we are excluding Kimi as usual. Right? That's a rule. We are not having
Yeah,
Kimi in this.
because we know Kimi will do well. He has a rocket.
Exactly.
He himself is a rocket, so
Hmm.
he's fast. The car is fast. Yeah, Kimi will do well. But yeah, apart from Kimi, other five, let's say, who's going to impress the most in the other five rookies?
I think last race I picked Bottletto, I remember.
Yeah,
And no, I don't remember who I picked for Saudi. I think Bottletto was Bahrain.
yeah, yeah. I don't remember.
So
Sorry.
I don't remember Saudi who I picked. But mm, let's go with Ollie Behrman this race. I've never picked Ollie Behrman till now.
Okay.
And he's shown that, he is very capable of driving that car
Hmm.
into the points regardless of where he's starting.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
saw, I think we saw in Bahrain or Saudi, it was Bahrain P20 and he finished P10.
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
So he's got a lot of potential in him, and apart from Kimi, I see him as the rookie who has the most potential at this point.
hmm.
So I'm going with Ollie Behrman for this one.
Okay. No, Ollie is a good shout. He has impressed a
Yeah,
lot this year. But I'm going to go back to my boy Jack Doohan. He needs a seat. He needs to keep his seat. So
he has to. He has to.
yeah.
But we are at race six. This is the sixth race. He's already kept the seat. He
Man,
had
you
five
never know with
races.
Flavio, man. You never know with Flavio.
That's true.
Yeah, I think we're going to see I hope to see another strong outing from Doohan. Um,
Mm.
I think Alpine also has been kind of surprisingly fast this season, right? We have
They
seen,
have. They have. We saw like Pierre Gasly doing so well
yeah.
in Saudi, right?
Was it Saudi?
Saudi.
No,
I
no,
keep
not
forgetting
Saudi.
Saudi.
No, not Saudi.
Bahrain.
Yeah, Bahrain. In Saudi,
Yeah.
Gasly crashed in the first lap.
Oh yeah, Gasly had that incident with Sonoda.
Yep,
So
yep.
yeah.
But
So
yeah, it was Saudi where Gasly got P7. Doohan was P14. But yeah, Gasly did well. So yeah, that Alpine definitely has pace. So I think we will see a good showing from Jack Doohan. But yeah, I think honestly, yeah, I think the other rookies also have a good shout. Whether that's Ollie Behrman, Hadjar.
Isaac Haja.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Let me ask you another fun question. Racing Bulls has the double rookies, right? Lawson and
Yeah.
Hadjar. Who do you think has a better outing this weekend at Miami?
That's a very interesting question. It's gonna be tough, right? We are all like still on the back of Lawson, of being relegated to the B team,
Yeah.
and let's give Lawson some positivity, right? Let's say I'll
Mm-hmm.
pick Lawson for this one. I think
Okay.
Lawson will probably score a point,
Mm.
and Isaac misses out on the points or something.
Okay.
So yeah, Lawson gets the job done this race.
Okay.
I might be completely wrong, but why not?
Well, I'm going to go with Hadjar.
It's good you're not picking Lawson. It would have been like too obvious.
Yeah. No. I think I'm on Team Hadjar. Uh, for some reason my camera has gone bonkers. But anyway,
I think you
It's
said Haja and it went bonkers
yeah. One
for
second.
some reason.
Um, yeah, I think I'm going to go with Isaac Hajar. So
Mhm.
it's going to be a good outing for him. He has, I think, barring that first race where he crashed,
Mm.
I think Hajar has been very impressive, and I think
Mm.
that's going to continue.
Yeah,
So yeah, while I reconnect my webcam and connect it back here.
yeah. I
Uh,
think we have some technical difficulties,
no, you can
which we
still hear
always
me, right?
do
That's all that matters.
with teams supporting Ferrari. With people supporting Ferrari, we always have some technical issues. But I think rookie of the race. I think we are
Yeah.
good on that because we got I picked Lawson and you picked Haja.
Yep.
So I think now we can do the final part of this week's prediction, which is the bust of the
Yes,
race.
the bust of the race.
Yeah.
Okay, hmm, I think the bust of the race is going to be Lance Stroll.
Oh, I was just gonna pick his teammate Fernando Alonso. What a coincidence! I just had. If you would have asked me, I would have picked Fernando. That's crazy that you picked Lance. Ironic.
Yeah, I think okay. Let's just say Aston Martin is going to the bust of the race, right? They've been really struggling this year. I think, yeah. Is it fair to say Aston Martin is the most underperforming team this season,
I would think so,
right?
especially Fernando's side.
Yeah,
Fernando, what has he scored any points so far this season?
I don't honestly.
I
I'm not
don't think
sure.
so, right?
I know
So
Lance did. Lance
Lance
scored.
has got 10 points, I think,
Yeah,
this
he scored
season.
as much points as he scores in an entire season, so he's done for this year.
He's done. He's done for the season.
Yeah, Lance has 10 points. Yeah, Nando has no points yet. Wow.
I know.
Three other drivers have no points this season: Liam Lawson, Jack Doohan, and Gabriel Bortoleto. And the fourth one is Fernando Alonso. So yeah, I mean even freaking Nico Hulkenberg in that Sauber has points.
I know. It's
So
crazy,
yeah,
right? I mean, Fernando, we didn't expect this from
not at
him.
all.
So
Yeah, I mean he is starting to uh, outperform Mr. Stroll. I think Saudi he finished in P11. Uh,
mm,
Stroll was 16. I think in
mm,
Bahrain he finished ahead of Stroll. I think yeah, 15 and 17. So I think he has
mm,
kind of reasserted his dominance on the team, but yeah, no points yet. Stroll had a
yeah,
surprisingly strong start to the season and petered off. But yeah, really sad to see Aston Martin this way, and especially Alonso. We all know how good a driver he is.
he is. I know. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, mm, I agree. So I think
yeah,
Fernando is definitely going to be the best of the race.
yeah. Which is sad, honestly. All right.
Yeah, I think that's the prediction for the Miami GP then.
Let's. Yeah. No. Hold on, Aniket. Hold on.
Oh, we missed
Since
something.
no, no, no. I want to do a new prediction. Another prediction stat for this race. Since it's
Mm-hmm.
so boring to be picking McLaren, you know, basically for every session because they're just so dominant now.
Mm-hmm.
And till a point that another team shows up, it's going to be pretty much McLaren's, right?
Yeah,
So let's do a hot take section.
let's do it.
Yeah, I think I think my hot take for this race is that at some either the sprint or the main race, right? I think Williams will finish on the podium. They're doing really well, and I think we see Carlos Sainz finish on the podium in that.
This race?
Yes, this race.
Oh wow. Okay. Which I mean, the sprint race is the main race.
I don't know. It can be anything, but I think we'll see. I think we'll see Sainz finish on the podium. I think Williams is doing very well with Jack Walls. We
Mm.
finally see
I
signs
mean,
that
James
this.
Walls, not Jack Walls.
Sorry, James Vowles. Williams is doing very well under James Vowles this season. They are the best of the rest, and we finally see signs adjusting to the car, right? I think he's
Yeah.
started to outperform Albon, and obviously Sainz is a much better driver than Albon. And if Albon can consistently get them P5s and P7s, I think Sainz can get them a podium this weekend. Obviously, it'll be some drama that needs to happen, maybe some
I
safety
know.
car or
A lot of
something.
cars need to drop out and
I don't think a lot
so.
of cars. I think just will be maybe one or two cars drop out.
But P3, that means I mean, you might not see a Ferrari podium, you might not see a Red Bull podium,
Yeah, is
a
that a hot take
Mercedes
really?
podium. So he's got a lot of cars he needs to get through.
Yeah, I know. He was P8 last race. I mean, yeah, I think that's my hot take. I think he'll somehow just rocket through the field. So that is my hot take. Carlos Sainz to get the podium.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
My hot take is Lewis Hamilton gets a podium.
Huh.
He's been saying a lot of negative things, right?
Yeah.
Negativities, become Lewis Hamilton's second name over the past few races.
Past few races, more like
So
past few years, man.
yeah, but he's been very negative now. I mean, especially after China, we
Yeah.
all thought after China, okay, this is it. He's gonna be like he's gonna be up there with Charles every race and
Right.
stuff. So but obviously, it's not happened like that, and it's just gone downhill from then.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there has to be some positive thing coming his way, right? It has to happen, and I
Yeah.
hope
Yeah.
it
Mm.
starts off with Miami. Hopefully, a podium in either one of those two races.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be my hot take, for this Grand Prix.
Mm. Okay. All right, folks. So those are your pod on the Apex predictions for the Miami Grand Prix. And as always, stay tuned to this pod for full coverage of the Miami Grand Prix. I think the race is too late, so I'm not sure if we'll do instant reactions after the race. But we'll definitely do one of the sprint race, which is at a more reasonable time for us. But yeah, definitely we'll try to get the full review out to you on Monday, which should be just a few hours after the race. So yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned to our channel. Make sure to subscribe. Tell your friends. If you're following us on Twitch, follow us on Twitch. Go to YouTube and subscribe to us there. If you're seeing on YouTube, well, thank you. Subscribe to us and well, go follow us on Twitch, man. Come on.
Yep.
Catch us
Do
live
all the
whenever
good
we go
stuff.
live. Yeah. And I think that's it for Miami GP predictions. But Aniket, there's a question I want to pose to you since we talk about McLaren so much, this season, considering how well they're doing. And I mean, we do know that McLaren have two very good drivers at the front, right? In Lando and Oscar. But obviously, at some point, maybe not in Miami because it's still way too early in the season. But by the halfway point, right? Let's say by the summer break, I think McLaren would have to make a decision, right, on who to prioritize, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the two drivers are kind of close, right? Maybe let's say summer break, they're like 40 points apart from each other, right? Something like that. Now, based on the results so far, right? Obviously, we can't know what will happen by the summer break, but based on results so far, based on the driver temperament so far, do you think McLaren should start to prioritize Oscar Piastri over Lando Norris so that like obviously, I mean, McLaren are the favorites to win both titles this year, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, do you think they should start to prioritize Oscar or Lando? Because at some point they have to make a decision. If they start to take points away from each other by fighting, then Ferrari and Red Bull, Mercedes are all sitting very, very interested right behind them.
Yes.
So, do you think they should prioritize Oscar or do you think they should prioritize Lando Norris when it's time to take a decision?
I think it's a little too early to take that decision right now. I would still, if I was in a McLaren team principal or something, I would
Hmm.
still give both an equal chance to fight for the championship. We're just 5 races into the season. This is going to be the sixth race, right?
Yeah.
So and they're very close to each other on the table as well. So obviously, Lando has made more mistakes this season than Oscar.
Hmm.
So we'll give Oscar the benefit of the doubt there. But in terms of favoring one over the other, I think you have to reach probably the halfway point of the season and then see where things stand.
Hmm.
And we know the risk of that. We know that they're going to take points of each other till about race 12, 13. But McLaren have to take that risk to be fair to their drivers. Both the drivers are very good and they've got the best car.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're taking points off each other, right? It's because, one of the other drivers is making mistakes. And we only saw in Japan that they were P2 and P3, and that's where, they could have flipped the cars and try to go ahead and challenge Max with Oscar, but they didn't do that at that time. So I do believe that similar to how Mercedes were in the Rosberg and Hamilton era, where they did give both their drivers
Hmm.
equal opportunities, I think we're going to see the same from McLaren as well.
Yeah.
And I think McLaren would also hope that it doesn't like boil into a very fierce rivalry where
Hmm.
they start not they stop talking to each other and do not respect each other and so on. But let's wait until the halfway point of the season and let's let McLaren then make a decision rather than doing it
Yeah.
this early.
Yeah. Agreed. But I think, yeah, I think if Oscar, I think what I feel will happen is that if Oscar continues to get results like this, I think he will let his results do the talking without needing McLaren to prioritize.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I do hope Lando comes back and we see, you know, a much more interesting battle at the front, like a 2016, for example, or even 2007 between Alonso and Hamilton.
yeah.
So, yeah, I think, yeah, personally, since, I'm not really a McLaren fan, I really don't care if they win, who wins. Can be Lando or Oscar, I really don't care. But I know Lando has a lot of fans, so I hope for your sake he wins. But yeah, I think, like, yeah, I mean, it is too soon to, you know, pick a driver as such. But yeah, there's been a lot of, I think Oscar winning. I think the reason this question has come up is people kind of assume Lando would be the default, the number one driver
Yeah.
going into the season, correct? But we have seen Oscar win the last three races, and I think not last three, but I mean, yeah, basically three out of the first five. So
Hmm.
I think that's where the questions are starting to come up, right? He won Shanghai, he won Sakir, he won Jeddah, and
Yeah.
as you come to Miami, Lando won the first race in Melbourne, but even there, Oscar was very close, and I think Melbourne showed that Lando is probably still a better driver in changing conditions. He kept his car under control even when went off track. Oscar completely, dropped down so badly. So I think Lando did show his experience there, but considering that the majority of the calendar is going to be dry races,
Hmm.
yeah, we might just see. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's why the question even is coming up to begin with, because I think everybody just assume Lando will be the
Yeah.
first choice driver. But just the fact that we're having this conversation this early into the season, I think is proof of how
It's
well
proof
Oscar is doing.
How well Oscar is doing right now. He's overshadowed Lando completely,
Yeah,
especially in the last few races, right?
exactly. I mean, yeah, like we were discussing earlier, right? Last season, Oscar did have a good season, but you still saw Lando kind of assert his dominance over Oscar pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Winning races or kind of just finishing higher than Oscar. But this season, he has not been able to do that, and I think that is causing all these questions in people's minds. If Oscar is the better, and I think if that happens, Lando will Lando will regret last year, man. Like it was his for the taking last year, right? Do you agree that there's no reason for Max to have won the championship last year, considering how
I
strong the
mean,
McLaren was?
he built such a healthy lead, right? By the time Lando tried to get close, I think Red Bull also figured out their car, and at least in the last few races, Max built up again the cushion.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, obviously Lando made mistakes. We all know that he didn't
right,
capitalize with how good the car was.
yeah,
And I still feel he's got an equal shot this time as well. He's got a better shot this time because he's not trailing by like 50, 60, or 80 points
Right.
after 5 races or something.
Hmm.
So he's within striking distance. So I still feel that this could be another good chance.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, and maybe his fortunes turn around this weekend. And Lando won Miami last year, and that's where the McLaren dominance kicked off for this era.
Yeah,
So yeah, we'll see how whether Lando's season takes a turn.
exactly.
All right, the last part on Miami. Aniket, are you ready to see the new liveries and show our audience?
Yeah, I'm ready to see some good liveries and some very bad liveries also.
Yep, yep. So yeah, just give me 1 second while I
Should we start with the good or the bad ones first? Should we just?
let's start with the absolute most horrible livery that we got. Just give me a couple of minutes while I pull this up and share it onto the stream. So just give me a couple of seconds here. Mm, so yeah, it's coming onto the stream. Just give me a couple of seconds. There we go. All
Yeah,
right. So
yeah.
Aniket, man,
What is this?
what is Ferrari doing, man? What is Ferrari?
Where is the rest of the blue gone? Did they run out of ink or something?
HP is like, please continue our subscription.
This is so bad. Like the colors don't go well. There's like just like an awful concept
Yeah.
just became reality. Unfortunately.
So when Ferrari teased the special livery last
Yeah,
week, this was a photo they used. Okay.
yeah,
So seeing this, you had no idea how bad it's going to be. You just saw the blue tail wing, the blue front wing, and you
yeah.
thought, okay, maybe they're adding a dash of blue to the car, and still keep the red. Um,
No,
some of us even hope they get rid of that white stripe.
I didn't want it to be all red. I mean, I wanted it to be their overall color, which is like blue and white.
Right.
If they wanted
Right.
to do a special review, just go all in, right?
Yeah.
What is this half and half shit which you're trying to pull, which is
Yeah,
not even
man.
looking good?
What on earth is this? Like this.
Like this view is like the most. This view is the most like the most horrible looking car. It shows how
Yeah.
horrible looking
Like
car.
no
It shows that
cohesion.
like
It
the
just looks like the
rest.
colors are just thrown together.
It looks like an intern probably came up with it, and he just got his project approved for some reason.
Yeah, very very bad. Ah man, I don't know what to say, to be honest. This is really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
think we get a solid 0 on 10 if you have to rate it.
oh yeah, pretty much. But if you look at
And it's not
the
like it's going to look better on the track or anything. Look at the overalls. That
yeah,
looks
the
so
overalls
clean.
look amazing, man. My
Yeah,
God, this is how the car should have been, right?
exactly. The car should have been in blue and white. That's it. We didn't need a
Yeah.
red.
What
I mean, we
what a
didn't need
missed
a red.
opportunity. What a missed opportunity.
I mean, they did the liveries very well last season. I don't know what's wrong
Yeah.
to that. So, I mean, what went wrong this time?
Mm-hmm.
It will literally like just blow it.
Yeah. This is highly disappointing.
Yeah,
Ah man. What could have been, right?
I agree. What could have been?
Uh I I still have no words.
Me neither.
Okay. So sorry. Okay. Let's move on to the next team. This is going to be a much better livery. Look at this. Oh, oops, sorry. What did I do? All right.
Oh wow,
Yeah. Look at
this is what
this.
we're talking about.
This is how a livery should look like. Man, just I'm in love. I'm in love with Racing Bulls liveries this year in general, and this just takes
Yeah,
the cake. How
this
good
is
is
so
this, man?
pleasing.
Like this is
They've
amazing.
got the right amount of pink, the right amount of white. It
Yeah.
goes well. The sponsors go very well.
Yeah.
So
And this is a
everything just
nice
fits
touch
in
over here.
perfectly.
Red Bull gives you wings. Amazing.
Yeah,
Chef's
and
kiss.
so the black also goes well with this, and the front wing end plate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean now this intern definitely deserves a raise
Yeah. Yeah.
and a promotion or whatever, because he's come up with the absolute perfect concept, and yeah, perfectly suits Miami's theme also, right?
Yeah. Have you looked at one other detail on this picture, Aniket? It's why I paused here.
It's via
No, it's the reason I paused on this angle
okay.
is have you noticed yet another interesting
The Red
detail?
Bull, the bull.
No, no, not the bull, not the bull. Let me
Okay,
will you zoom in? Ah no. The picture's just same size.
yeah,
Look at the wheels.
right, right, yeah. The
It's
red.
it's the top of the can when you try to open.
Oh wow,
Yeah, look
okay,
at that attention to detail,
insane.
right? It's so good.
Oh
Like this is amazingly. I think this should come to the main car, man. That is amazing attention to detail from Red Bull.
wow, that's insane.
Yeah,
Okay, this is the first time I saw that, and that blows my mind
yeah. It
as to how
just
they came up with that.
yeah, man. This yeah. Look at the first comment here. Can Ferrari take notes, please?
I know, I know. I have also commented the same thing.
Yeah, on point. On point. From Emily F. Keller here. Ferrari, please take notes. This is how you do a livery. Man, they could have
Totally.
put a freaking printer on the tire for all I care. It'd still have been a better livery than what they came up with now. Right?
I
Ferrari,
know.
man. Yeah, I think Racing Bulls is going to be the fan favorite this weekend. At least livery
Definitely
wise.
smashed it out of the park with that
Yeah,
livery.
totally. And they also have new uniforms. So yeah, these are the new overalls for this
Yeah.
weekend. Pretty good, I would say. Keeps yeah, goes with the car, the new livery as well.
Yep. Everything looks good from Racing
Yeah,
Bulls this
I
side.
think this is just a great, yeah, just some great marketing and branding from Racing
I
Bulls this
hope people
weekend.
buy these, buy these merchandise
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Racing Bulls, especially these ones. They look great.
yeah, amazing. Man, the only thing we are missing is a Barbie collaboration. Like, uh, man, imagine just, I don't know, like Margot Robbie shows up this weekend.
I agree. Perfect sponsor for that.
Yeah. My God. So good from Racing Bulls. And okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's look at Sauber, Kick Sauber. Mostly the same
Mostly the same.
but different.
I still, I'm trying to understand like what exactly different. Is it the splatter of green
Yeah,
and
yeah, it just splatters. So if you look at the, so this is a car,
right?
the normal design, right?
Yeah,
So you have this green to black gradient
green
kind
to
of
black
flowing
transition. Yeah,
smoothly,
yeah.
and here you just have this splatter. It's all like
Oh, it's
random. Yeah, just
okay,
paint
okay.
splatter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it kind of yeah, still better than what Ferrari has done, man. God
Oh
damn
yeah,
it.
for sure. At least it goes well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They tried something new. These are some excellent gifs over here, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think they did it well. I don't think the new overalls this weekend. I think the same overalls.
Yeah, I don't think there's
Yeah.
a reason to change the overalls.
Also had a very good poster. This is just amazing. Look at this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Just yeah. Excellent, excellent stuff from Sauber as well.
I think our podcast viewers would not be understanding what's going on, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
just go and just check these different liveries for yourself
yeah, yeah.
in
If
terms
if
of,
you are listening to the audio of this, please watch our YouTube video.
yes,
you
that also.
or just look up the special liveries for this weekend. Yeah, I think the next one that we
I
need.
think we had one more, right? The Mercedes
Yeah, Mercedes. I'm
syndicate
just pulling that up. So Mercedes has not done any special livery, or at least they haven't announced it yet,
announced it yet, yeah.
as of us going live. But they do have. Here we go. New
Mhm.
overalls.
Yeah,
Again, I think if the car actually ends up with this color scheme, it will look so good. Mercedes have never done a kind of
I
this.
think Adidas also helping with this, right? They
Yeah.
have the overalls this season also look really nice with the Adidas thing, and
Mm.
the team uniforms, how everything looks nice. So this is also a very nice, pleasant looking kit.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing that nothing torturing the eye right now. Everything looks
Mm-hmm.
pleasant, and we'll
Man,
see how the car can
the comments are wild here. Look at this vegan vegan vanilla protein powder. Divorced dad who just bought a motorcycle. Which 5-year-old designed this suit? Man, these comments are a bit too harsh. I think
Yeah,
this
I think a bit too harsh. I think the kit is actually nice.
I thought Ferrari
Aesthetic
was
is
bad. What in the autumn tomato sauce is? Come on, Juhi Patel. This overalls look amazing.
yeah, they do.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not,
think
I
that
wouldn't say amazing, but they do look good. They
yeah,
do
they
look
look
pleasant
good.
on the eye. Nothing
Yeah,
wrong with them.
and a good departure from what we generally have. So
Yeah, I mean it's been a long time since Mercedes actually did something
yeah,
special.
yeah, yeah. I
So
hope
yeah.
some of this. Yeah, I mean, we still haven't heard about the special livery on the car. I mean, they did also show off this livery for their F1 Academy
Yeah.
race this weekend.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, maybe we see something else for the
Maybe
race,
we
and
see something.
they maybe they're waiting till tomorrow to announce. I don't know.
Yep.
There's also this photo they posted of
Mm.
George Russell posing with the car again in a similar
Yeah.
paint job.
Yes.
So
What if they don't announce it and just we see like the first practice and they just come out with
yeah,
this stonking new livery and stuff. And then people are like, oh, that's the Mercedes. Okay.
yep, yeah. If they pull that off,
That'll be
that'll
nice.
be
I think people should, just surprise us more, right? I mean, just don't announce it on social media.
yeah,
Just just come out directly in free practice or something.
yeah. Yeah, it'll be very good if somehow tomorrow free practice when Mercedes comes out with this delivery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's all the special liveries and racing overalls that have been announced so far.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's all we have on Miami itself for this weekend. But Aniket, you know what I saw today earlier.
Mhm.
Do you know the German newspaper Bild?
Yeah.
They announce a lot of the. I know you follow football as well. You know they announce a lot of transfers and all of that, right? And they're generally reliable for German stuff.
Mm.
And today, Bill had a scoop today, and yeah, sorry I didn't discuss this with you in the pre-podcast notes, but
Yeah.
I just came across this. And guess who is going to be driving for Audi next season? At least heavily rumored. Supposed to be announced in Miami this weekend. Audi's first driver.
Sergio Perez?
Yes, Sergio
Yes.
Perez.
I did hear that Sergio Perez was going to be in Miami this weekend.
Yeah. So the thing
There was
was
going to be an announcement.
earlier today, Bill ran the news story in Germany today morning, Thursday morning, that Sergio Perez is going to be Audi's first confirmed driver, and
Hmm.
that he will be in Miami this weekend.
Yeah.
And then there was some other news that came out that Perez is going to be spotted in Miami. So
Yeah.
it seems to be that's what is
Seems
going
to
to
be
happen.
happening.
Yeah. What do you think of this, Aniket? Are you excited?
I mean, I'm happy for Sergio that he didn't deserve to get out of F1 or didn't deserve to be out of F1.
Yeah.
So I think that there are a few experienced candidates that they could have looked at, like Valtteri,
Hmm.
Sergio, some other drivers. Maybe even given Sebastian Vettel a call and asked him to come out of retirement or something.
Yeah.
But it does look like they're going to go with Sergio in the end. I think Sergio will bring his experience into the team to start off their journey in Formula One.
Yeah.
So obviously the huge Mexican market, he brings that as well. So that's important for a team which is starting out newly to have at least some base or some market wherever they go.
Man, Cadillac is going to sell so many cars in Mexico next year.
I know, I agree, and that's the reason why they have or
Sorry, not
rumored
Cadillac.
to
What
be
am I talking
onboarding
about?
Sergio
Audi.
Perez.
Yeah.
So good move from them, and Sergio does deserve to be back in F1.
Right. Right. Um. And sorry, I misspoke earlier. It's not Audi. It's Cadillac. What the
Cadillac.
hell was I
Yeah.
saying? Oh my
And I
god.
went
This
along
is
with it till I was going to correct you. Yeah,
this is
Cadillac.
embarrassing. Sorry. Cadillac, not Audi. Oh my god. Wow, I really screwed that up, didn't I?
Guys, it's very late here, so please
I'm,
cut
I'm
us some
just I'm
slack.
just a
Cut us
Ferrari
some slack.
fan.
We
What
are
do you
doing this
expect?
pretty late for y'all.
I'm just a Ferrari fan. What do you expect? Cadillac, yes. Sorry, Audi, I think Audi has already announced a driver lineup, right? For next year.
Yeah, they have. They're going with Nico and
Yeah.
uh, the other guy, Ollie Behrman. No, not Ollie. Yeah, Ollie Behrman, right?
Ollie, no, Gabe, no, that's Haas, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. Who's it? Who's
Uh,
Nico Hulkenberg's teammate right now? Esteban Ocon?
Portoletto.
Bortoleto.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Bortoleto. Correct. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the last 5 minutes replace all mentions with of Audi with Cadillac. But yeah, I think yeah, the fact that Bill has run with this story is very very interesting. So yeah,
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
yeah, I am personally very excited to see Sergio Perez back in F1. I think I know last year when we were on the other pod doing F1 stuff, I know we were very unforgiving towards Perez,
And we were.
but I think we have seen that it's a car more than Perez. It looks like. Um, I think the car Red Bull just screwed up big time with the car. You know, like yes, Max likes it front heavy, but then you just keep on kind of pushing it so bad that even Max cannot drive the car now. And it
Hmm.
just reminds me. Do you remember Toto Wolff in that press
Yeah,
conference?
yeah, I don't remember.
I'll print it out. I'll print it out. Toto Wolff, man. My God. Uh, yeah, very very excited to see. Hopefully Sergio Perez back in F1. Yeah, I think today is also May 1st, and 20 years ago today, we 21 years ago, but on 1st May 1994.
That's 31, right?
Yeah, 31 years. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh man, 30
It's
years.
late at night, guys. 31 years ago.
I just realized how old we are. But
But
yeah, sorry, 31, not 20. 31 years ago, today, Ayrton Senna had a horrific crash in Imola where he went off the track, crashed into the barriers, and then very tragically lost his life. I mean, obviously not just Senna. I mean, the day before on April 30th, you also saw Ratzenberger also lose his life in similar fashion. So two F1 drivers lost their lives that weekend at Imola. So yeah, 31 years hence, obviously F1 has seen a lot of improvements in safety since then. And Senna was, I think, the last death till we saw Jules'
Jules
tragic
Bianchi.
crash in 2016.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 31 years is just a reminder of what drivers put on the line um, every weekend driving these cars. I know we get a a lot of joy, a lot of excitement watching these races, watching drivers push these hunks of metal to the limit week in and week out, right? But yeah, I think this date is just a reminder of what can happen if very with very small changes, right? The tiniest of perturbations in the
Tiny some
matrix.
mistakes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think every year we feel that when Ayrton passed away in that horrific crash that we never got to see the best of Ayrton because he still, despite his amazing championship victory, we still felt that there was so much more he could have given to F1,
yeah,
and his life was cut way too short. He was just starting a new chapter with Renault at
yeah.
that time, and he was favored to win that championship that year, and who knows the next couple of years as well.
Mm,
And by that time, he was the greatest driver or one of the greatest drivers in F1, a
yeah.
hero to many drivers right now. So it's always like, if that crash wouldn't have happened, where would things be now? How many
Mm,
championships would Senna have won? Where would his legacy have been
yeah,
after that? So very tragic, whatever happened at Imola, and we never want to see those videos again, but they keep resurfacing,
yeah,
sometimes here and there. But I try to avoid it, and I think many of the F1 fans as well, because those are very sad images, sad moments
yeah. Yeah, I
of
think
of
also that
a great
season.
driver in F1. Yeah,
Yeah, also that season. Obviously Michael Schumacher was the champion.
he
But
was.
the thing is, a lot of pundits and observers were expecting a Schumacher Senna fight, and possibly even three-way with Damon Hill, who just finished 1 point behind Schumacher eventually. I
Mm.
think a lot of them were expecting this kind of, it was very well poised, right? If you look at
Yeah.
Imola, or San Marino Grand Prix as it was called then, Imola was the third race of the season. And the first two races in Brazil and Japan, or well, technically not Japan, it was the Pacific Grand Prix. But
Mm.
the first two races, we saw Senna get pole, and then in Senna weirdly kind of retired in both the races. He spun off in Brazil, and then he kind of again retired in in Japan as well at the Pacific Grand Prix. He spun, and then he was hit by another driver, and not Schumi but some other driver. And Schumacher won the first two races, but there was a lot of expectation around Senna and Schumacher, even possibly Damon Hill, to kind of give us a three-way battle, and we were robbed of that. Like imagine Senna and Schumacher just going at it, right? Kind of like Lewis and Max, I would say, from 21, right? The senior driver and
Yeah.
the upcoming guy wants to dethrone you. So yeah, man, I think it just very very sad as to what happened. Not the racing thing. I mean, Senna was also very young when he crashed out. Was it, what is he, 30 years or something, 33, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, he was 34 when he passed away tragically.
He still had a few more years left in him,
Yeah,
and he was
yeah,
still at the top of his game. He just won a championship in '93, I think.
correct. So yeah, he won no, sorry, 91 was his last win.
91. Okay, so there's
Yeah,
3 years.
yeah,
And he did take up, and he did finish close in '92, I think, and then McLaren started going down, and that's the reason why he switched to
right.
Renault.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Renault was at the top of the game at that time.
they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 93 he finished second in the standings behind eventual winner Alan Prost. Um, and
And then
then
Alan Prost retired after
Alan
that,
Prost
and that's the
retired.
reason
Yeah,
why Senna
yes,
joined
Alan
Renault.
Prost retired. And then I think 92 was the season which Senna had a bad season. He was fourth behind Michael Schumacher.
Hmm.
Mansell
Hmm.
won that year. But yeah, I think yeah, like you said, that's why kind of he made the move, right?
Yeah. And McLaren were losing their Honda partnership as well at that time.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, 93. Let's see, where was he? He was with Senna, and then 94 was when he moved
'93
to.
was still McLaren, '94 was when he moved.
Yeah, 93 was with McLaren, and 94 he moved to Williams. And yeah. unfortunately
Yeah.
did not. I mean, lost his life. So yeah, I think it's one of F1's most tragic stories. I mean, yeah, nothing, no diminishing that even Ratzenberger passed away that weekend. But I think with Senna, I think the kind of effect Ayrton Senna had on the F1 community at large, right? So I think that's a lot of the drives a lot of the emotions around that. Um, yeah, I mean, who knows if he survived, how many more titles he could have gotten, and how
Yeah.
F1 would have changed in the following years. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, I think um, yeah. One last thing before we leave, Aniket, 2026, the Spanish Grand Prix is moving.
Oh yeah.
It's leaving the Circuit de what's it called?
Catalonia.
Circuit Barcelona de Catalunya, and it's moving to Madrid. Yeah, it's moving from the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. Amazing name, amazing circuit. Mwah. It's moving to the Madring in Madrid. Oh my god, what is F1 doing, man?
I'm excited to see what madness unfolds at Madring. But again, we're gonna lose, kind of a classic track in Barcelona. Obviously, we've never seen a lot of overtakes there, but still, it's like we just go to Barcelona every year. It's like always on the
Yeah,
calendar. It's been on the
right.
calendar from a long, long time now.
Yeah.
So it'll be sad to see it go if it indeed is the last time in 2026 or 2025 that we'll get Barcelona.
Hmm.
So if we don't get Barcelona after this year, then it'll be sad. But excited to see what Madring has in store for us. I
Yeah.
think hopefully by 2026 the cars are able to follow more and we see better racing on track.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, as you brought up the image of the race circuit here, it does look like there are opportunities to overtake for sure. But again, we need to see like how the cars do well, how cars do on this track.
Yeah. So this is going to be a 5.4 kilometer, 22 turn circuit, 57 laps, and the pit straight is 589 meters, and there's another, and then you have that sweeping straight from turns 3 to 5, and you have the yeah. So this the loop at the end is going to be apparently a bank turn like Sandwood. So it's going to be
Hmm.
another fast section. It's called the La Monumental,
Hmm.
and simulations say that it will be cars will be in excess of 300 kilometers per hour while taking that section.
Hmm.
Um, and apparently the next one, turn 13, right after the bank section, is supposed to be another overtaking opportunity. Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously see how it plays out next
Yeah,
season.
at real time.
Yeah, I think even this you have a kind of hairpin chicane here at 5 and 6. Yeah, basically again it is a street circuit, so
I hope it's not like Valencia though. That was not like the best
yeah.
street circuit in Spain.
Mm. So yeah, another thing also, this is going to replace Catalonia next year in 2026 for 10 years. They have a 10-year contract right now. So yeah,
Here
man,
comes the money.
here comes the money, exactly. So yeah, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know honestly how to think about this.
Yeah, I mean, again, as I said, it'll be sad to see a classic track go, but
Hmm.
F1 is now a money-making business, so wherever the
Yeah,
money is more, they'll probably go there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Really, yeah, I think you know, like I get it that you know, um, this is not the most exciting track, right? But I think what I had hoped was, why don't we get some other, classic tracks come back? Like, what about Hockenheimring, for example?
Yeah,
Why is that not coming back? Like, come on, man. Is that
I
so
guess
hard?
it's again to do with the money aspect, right? So I'm not sure
No,
if
I know, it's
they're
the
able to
money,
afford it.
but
I mean, we all wish some of these classic tracks do come back, like Nürburgring, Hockenheim, and
yeah,
Yeah, there's a few other Malaysia and stuff. So
Yeah. Hmm. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this whole thing plays out.
yeah,
Um. So yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, as always, stay tuned to the pod for all of this. We will always keep posted all the updates that are happening, and we will. I think that brings an end to the pod today, Aniket. While I
yeah. I
end the
think
screen share and transition back. Yeah. Are you excited for Miami, Aniket?
I am, but I don't know if I'll be able to watch it because it screwed up timings. So
Yes,
that is the
yes.
only issue. So we'll try to cover it as much as we can for everyone. In our race previews,
Yeah,
sorry, race reviews, and also we'll probably do a qualifying quick kind of a video, but on the following day, so that
yeah.
people are up to speed with the
I
results.
think we can definitely do instant reactions after the sprint race, which is I think it's 12 a.m. for you and 9:30 for me. So a much
Okay.
more reasonable timing. Can do a quick reaction video after that. But yeah, I think I know a lot of you love the reaction videos we do right after the race, but unfortunately for the main race itself, uh, ending at 3 a.m. here, it's a bit 3 a.m. here. I mean 5 a.m. for Aniket. Yeah, it's a bit too hard. But we'll try to get you the review Monday, right after the race. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe to you know to be notified whenever we release a video. And on that note, um, Aniket and I sign off.
Yep.
This is Pod on the Apex, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time, and let's go Miami.
Yeah, let's go, baby.